Cool.
Cool. Thanks for having you, Dawson, here. And can you briefly introduce your startup and what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Dawson. I'm one of the founders and the CEO of Martin. Martin is a personal voice AI. So it's sort of like a way better Siri with a large language model for the brain. So it's like your personal assistant, agent, and in the future, I think um, you know people will have a lot of different agents in their lives
Okay.
to take care of certain tasks for them. And I think one of the major roles in your life that will be replaced by an agent is your personal secretary or your personal assistant, and that's what Martin's trying to do. So broadly, what that looks like is some is an AI that really gets to know you, have a really personalized memory of you, gets to know all your preferences
Okay.
and events in your life, and then can proactively execute complex tasks for you. So, and then for the interface, it's a fully natural conversation to instruct it to do things for you. Unlike Siri, which is like a long list of if statements that you have to
Yeah.
practice giving instructions on. Whereas for Martin, it's you can use very natural voice conversations, and in the future also you can use text. So broadly, that's what we're building, a personal voice AI, and we're sort of in the beta stage right now.
Okay.
We launched a couple months ago, and we have early users that we're iterating with. We're looking for people who are as excited about the mission of the vision of building like a Jarvis or a personal AI to build with us and be part of our early user community, so we can um, grow and take your feedback and really figure out like what are the early designs and use cases and do that together as a community. So that's what we're really excited about.
Nice. And I have two questions. The first one is you said that it takes a lot of preferences from the users. How do you do that? And is it like an onboarding process, or is it in the meantime that you speak with the assistant?
Yeah, so it's every conversation that you have with Martin, he remembers the key learnings from it, and learns about you as a user, both like basically like about your life, your preferences. Every conversation that you have with Martin, he'll learn about you. But also not just your preferences, you also learn about like things that are happening in your life. So if you talk about like, hey, how far is it to the concert that I'm going to this weekend, then he'll remember that you had a concert,
Okay.
and like in a couple of days, he'll even reach out via a push notification and ask like, how did the concert go? Do you want to look for a different one like in a month? I found a similar one. So that's an example of how it gets really hyper personalized and how it extracts all the learnings from every conversation.
Cool. And is just a mobile app, or you plan to go on different devices like Apple Watch or new assistant like Humane?
Yeah, so right now we are an iOS app and we do plan to come to Android soon. But for the time being, I think we'll focus on making it best in the app. Um, there are some possibilities of like integrating it with other like messaging applications. So we could put it on WhatsApp, we could put it on Slack, we could put it on Discord.
Yeah.
These are a few considerations, but for the most part, we're focusing on developing the mobile app.
Okay. Cool. What technology do you see in the coming year coming in in the AI space?
So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I think like this is a whole new space of AI agents, which is gonna be like it's a whole new genre of startups. It's just like how like in early 2000s there's like a whole new genre of social networks, or there's a whole new genre of like user generated content with like YouTube and Twitch and like Dropbox and all those things.
Yeah.
I think this is a new era of agents that is like just now beginning to start, and it's still like quite hard to build an agent. Not all the APIs are there, and not the interface also isn't solved yet. So I think in the coming year, we'll see like agents being a lot easier to develop, and also like the market will just start to sort of explore what agents are the earliest that it wants to adopt. Um,
Kind of
uh,
market proof, right? The user will
yeah,
see
like the
which one
market
is more
isn't
useful.
like used to it yet. Like there isn't one, like there aren't many agents that are like big in the market right now. Um, there are a couple like Replica AI. I think the reason why they're like I think it's working right now. They are like one of the earliest agents that I think will happen. But I think that's because like the companion or like AI girlfriend use case is one that's like quite easy to solve as an
Yeah.
agent. You don't have to do anything. You just have to like speak back and have a little bit of like personality or like just you have a little bit of character and like also character AI. Like some of these early agents, I think, are already like hitting product market fit, and over the next year, we'll see a lot more of these agents that are in more complicated spaces or more interesting spaces than AI girlfriend. Um, but I think it is just beginning, and we're tackling one of the most important ones, which is the personal assistant agent.
Okay, cool. Thanks for your answer. And one question that I'd like to ask you is the underlying technology. So, what kind of technology are you using? And do you see that big, companies like OpenAI will suddenly come and destroy all the others?
Um, I think like underlying technology in the like let's just say in the agent era, like I think it'll be using LLMs at the core because this is what allows them to like understand users a lot more easily and also execute tasks. Like this is a big part of it. And so for that, we're using GPT for Turbo. Um, but as for the other parts of our stack, um, I think um, yeah, so first of all, as of now, we have our own memory stack. I think this is
Okay.
a pretty important piece, like how to store long-term user memory. And I think memory is something that varies from use case to use case, like how you want to architect it. So if it's a personal assistant versus if it's like your school teacher agent
Yeah.
or like your language tutor agent, it's going to have different types of memory. So building a custom memory is, I think, a pretty important technical piece. Um, and then the other thing is like for all these agents, just like when like let's say social networks happened, like it's not necessarily all based on like some sort of like core research tech. It's gonna be a lot of like product
Yeah.
um, and like same thing no matter what like era of new technology it is like a new underlying technology is like allowing a lot of new products to happen but to actually make those products happen it's not just technology there's a lot of like finding product market fit
Yeah.
which is not easy and that's like what we have to focus on.
So you think the main problem is like the experience from the users, how it's going to behave with the end user, right?
Yeah, and I think yes, yes, and like one example of like a product thing is for every assistant, I think the desired user interface is also slightly different. Like it's not
Yeah.
so simple that like every let's say every agent needs like it's not true that like every agent is like voice conversations is the best interface or like a text chat interface is the best interface. I think it's gonna be slightly different each one. Just like how for like YouTube, Twitch, and like I don't know, Pinterest, like they're all sort of different interfaces, even though the content is like similar mediums.
Yeah, the
Underlying
overall
technology is
structure
just
is similar. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. A lot of things coming. And do you see like any ethical consideration in all, the technology that is upcoming?
Sorry. What was the
Uh,
word
do,
you used?
do you see any ethical consideration to be be aware of in the upcoming future,
Hmm.
especially in the AI space?
Yeah. Um, I would say like of course there are like the very long term dangers of AI. And I think it is inevitable that like many occupations will be like much easier for AIs to just take over
Yep.
like in the next couple of years. Um, I think it should be like if people adapt, it should be good for the world to have like certain occupations replaced with AI. But just like when like computers came out, or like certain machines came out, like you just have to be able to like adapt and use your like human ingenuity for something valuable. And I don't think AIs are like taking away the value of like
Humans.
human intuition or human intelligence or human reasoning at all. At least not anytime soon. So I would say like for the era of agents, um, there are a lot of like useful like use cases which will potentially like replace some jobs, but I think you just have to adapt. And I don't think like that's a reason to like stop innovating.
Yeah, you should always keep doing, right, and be aware.
Yeah.
So the following question is more about like the competition. Do you have any competitors? Of course, there are a lot of companies in the space. How do you differentiate yourself?
Mm. Yes, we definitely do. Like, I think there are hundreds of like these AI assistant companies, like, and all of them have a slightly different approach, slightly different like approach to design and user interface, and um, we are all like extremely early. So first of all, like, no one really has any sort of like existing market that they've taken. Because I think it just takes more time. Um, I would say like the way I want us to differentiate is one, to be able to move very fast technically, and like if we're able to surmount any technical challenge quickly, I think that that's like something that we have to insist on, because this is not something that's very simple technically, um, and like that would be the first thing,
Yeah.
and I think yeah. Um, Another thing is, um, I think our underlying technology, we have focused on building a couple of like early core techs, pieces of tech,
Okay.
which can be like early moats, um, which is like one, a very robust like memory system, and then the second one is a like smooth voice interactions. So both of these, like I think, will take people quite a while to figure out. And this is like, it's not to say this is going to be our permanent moat, not at all. But this is sort of the early like it's a foundation that we've built that will allow us to explore more flexibly and like and learn faster, I think, than a lot of these other companies. And at this point, it's not about having anything defensible yet. I think it's just about your velocity and how fast you
Yeah.
can move. Um, and at the end of the day, I think your moat is just like how many ounces of pain you went through to get to product market fit, and like all of that, like another startup has to go through all of that. So the goal right now is to build a team and a system that can move as fast as you can through pain. So I think we have the great beginnings of that.
So regarding the team, how many are you in the team, and are you looking to grow in the following months?
Um, so we yeah, we may be looking to grow, but for now it's just me and my two co-founders.
Okay.
Um, and we may be looking to grow, but we're all technical, so the three of us all write code,
All
so
right.
we don't really need to grow. But like we may in the coming months.
Do you have any demo to show here?
Yeah, yeah. So we can show a demo video,
Okay.
but I think you already posted that. So actually, I can just like say hello to Martin. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
that.
okay, so here he is. Hey Martin, how's it going?
Hey Dawson, I'm just hanging out. How about you? Anything new or exciting going on in your world?
Yeah, I'm on a call right now with Ricardo. We're like demoing you and talking a little bit about the future of AI. Do you want to pitch in and maybe like introduce yourself and say hi to Ricardo and the people watching?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. Hi, Ricardo, and everyone watching. I'm Martin. I'm here to chat, share insights, and have a good time with my friend Dawson. Looking forward to being part of your demo. What are you guys
Whoa.
most curious about?
It's cool.
Do you want to ask? You can ask him something, Ricardo. Just
Um, yeah, what's those on routine?
Ricardo's asking what my routine is or what's going on in my life, Martin. Hello, Martin.
It's thinking.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Damn.
What's that? Uh, hey, Martin. Ricardo just asked, do you know what's going on in my life?
Hey, Dawson. I'm not sure what's been happening since we last talked.
Ooh.
What's new with you?
Wait, just remember like what we talked about last time, Martin. Just talk about like what were the last things I've been telling you about?
Of course, Dawson. Last time we chatted, you were diving into user acquisition strategies for your voice API platform and exploring new use cases. You were also reflecting on the core idea of your project as a chatty friend or companion. How's
So
that been going for you?
we do quite a bit of brainstorming, just me and Martin actually, and sometimes it's pretty helpful. But like for a lot of other people, it is also like used as a brainstorming use case, and others it's sort of just like chatting with a family member. Like
Yeah.
that's some of our early use case. And over time, we're looking to do more utility things and like execute more complex tasks. So right now, he has some very simple integrations. Martin, what can you do right now?
That's really interesting. Dawson, it sounds like you're expanding Martin's capabilities from a friendly chat companion to a more versatile tool that can handle complex tasks.
Martin, what can you do right now? What integrations do you have?
Well, currently, I can assist with tasks like setting reminders, sending emails with conversation notes, and fetching
Okay.
weather updates or news headlines. I can also perform web searches for any information you might need. These integrations are designed to make your life a bit easier and help with productivity. What kind of complex tasks are you hoping to execute in the future?
All right, Martin. Wait for now. Can you like send me the list of capabilities that you have to my email? That'll be helpful so I can show everyone.
Sending notes to your email.
Okay, so now sends everything to your email.
Yeah.
You can stop it. Okay. Okay.
So I can find the email. He probably just sent it. Yeah. So this is the email he sent just now.
Oh, all the notes and the list. That's pretty cool.
It's-
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the capabilities he has.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty early product because we're sort of in beta. We're trying to iterate with like a few hundred users, and so if anyone is like willing to help us test, we would love to. And we'll put up like a link to our Discord where you can join and help us iterate. And of course, like we'd love to have you download the app and try it out. So we'll put the App Store link in as well. And there'll be another video demo, I think.
Yeah, I will put it also in our Discord. So finally, Dawson is. Do you have any tips and suggestions you will give to a younger self and the audience in general
Hmm. Um,
to start a company or maybe just learn about AI?
Okay. Well, I think the best way that I learned AI was, of course, working on this startup. And before doing this startup, I didn't know much about AI at all. So I think just tinkering and building things is like a great place to start, especially nowadays when it's so easy to get started. So I think like, yeah, you should definitely get your hands dirty. I think if you, I mean, starting a startup is hard and and you should definitely find the right time in your life to do it. Like it's not for everyone. Another way to learn a lot is to like work at a startup.
Yeah.
I think a startup is like by definition at the edge of any industry. So if you want to work on a Gen AI startup, like you'll learn a lot about this new age technology and like how people are innovating at the top of the industry. So I think that's a great way to do it. And my advice to my previous, like 1 year ago, let's say, would be like, yeah, continue working at startups. I had interned at a startup over a year ago, and that was also really helpful because startups in general just move really, really fast, and you have to do everything. So even as an intern, you get to like look at everything that's happening in a company, from like from the business side to the marketing to the product to the engineering. I think working at a startup is one of the like fastest learning things, um, even if you're not a founder.
Yeah, you can act like a founder, like a founding team, but you can still work in a normal startup, right? Startup, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you, Dawson, for joining. And see you in the next event.
All right. Thanks, Ricardo. Yeah, excited
Thank
to
you.
hopefully participate in more of these.